Alrighty, hi everyone, I'm Blaze here. So this is going to be a Necro class update for the Velious expansion. So this is going to be an accessory video to the Kunark era 1 through 60 class guide and review. Not a whole lot has changed for Necromancers, actually the least, from comparatively to Bards and Rangers in my opinion. So let's get into it, shall we? So there's a couple new spells that Necromancers get, a couple big flowing thought items that are crazy good, Zlandicar's heart, raid rolls, etc. So let's get into it. So the first thing, actually let me show Zlandicar's heart first. I just got a link of that. So this drops off as Zlandicar in Dragon Necropolis. I think it's going for a chrono, but it's really easy to get if you got a raiding guild. A lot of them are going for the minimum DKP bids in our guild. And it's got 5 HP regen, a lot of intelligence. It's a really nice item for Necromancers, really nice primary if you don't have the epic already. It's probably best in slot prior to the epic. But what I was told by some of the Necromancers in my guild, even though they have Zlandicar's heart, they keep the epic on because it just has better stats. Zlandicar is really only useful if you're, say, you don't have anything to life tap. Because if you have the more term cap, the HP regen's kind of irrelevant. But if you don't have anything to life tap, it can be useful. Or say if you don't have the funky staff. And what I mean by life tapping, if people don't know, this is probably considered to be the real Necro epic, the Demi-Lich Skull Cap. It's for 54 seconds, every 6 ticks, every 6 seconds, you'll get at my current level, it's 122 hit points per tick. So it's a lot of healing, basically free healing. The only problem is it takes 10 seconds to cast. It takes forever, but it's my go-to dot all the time. So yeah, the Demi-Lich Skull Cap is considered to be the real Necro epic. But if you don't have a means of HP regen, like the fungi staff or the Morturnum cap, definitely Zlandicar's heart is something you might want to consider getting. Now, let's get into the next portion. So, we're going to be talking about the new spells that are available. Alrighty, so these are the new spells. I got this from Alakazam. So, Summon Companion at level 40, Corporeal Empathy. I don't really use this because, the heal that I currently use, Shadow Bond, is still better. But Corporeal Empathy takes your hit points and gives it to someone else. It's a direct heal, but Shadow Bond gives more healing over time. Improved invisibility to undead. I don't really know if that's any better. Augmentation of Death, that is an upgrade. That's a pet buff, basically. It gives them more attack speed and strength, so it's a really nice buff. That's worth getting. Conglatiation of Bone, not really. That's like another direct damage spell that they have. And Necros aren't direct damages kind of class. Now these are some of the interesting ones at level 60. So Archlich is definitely something you want to get. It's the new Lich line. I'll show what it looks like. It gives you more mana, but in exchange for more hit points. Death Piece is the new Feign Death with the higher success rate at 98, so that's definitely worth getting. And then these are the ancient spells that you can only get off of Vulok right now, but they'll be available off of Luklin raid mods from my understanding. Ancient Master of Death is basically a better Archlich. So you can see it's a 44 mana as opposed to 35 like an Archlich. It doesn't even steal as much hit points too. It gives you more mana than the hit points it just takes. And then there's Ancient Lifebane, which I'm not single target. I'm not really entirely sure. Looks like just maybe a direct damage hit or something. Looks like almost like a 2 to 3 point efficiency. So let's cut back. Okay, so let's show some of this stuff. I'll load up my so this is Archlich. This is what it looks like. So all the prior liches and Kunark era and Classic, they just turn you into skeletons. Archlich turns you into a lich form. I wish they had the old version because it looks cooler, but whatever. And then of course you got, I'm gonna turn off Spectre, that's what it's called. I don't want to die out here. Then you also get the new pet buff, which is augmentation of death. Yep, right there. So it still stands. Probably the best DPS a Necro can do is Charming, especially when you put that haste on. Boy, does it get insane. But not a whole lot has really changed for Necromancers. Now let's get into the next portion. Alrighty, so the next portion of this, we'll talk about some of the Flowing Thought items you might want to get. So in Velious and Raiding, there's a couple different really nice Flowing Thought pieces you can acquire, such as the Cold Aim Prayer Shawl from the quest line, King Tormax's head, you turn it into, I think, and Sky Shrine, and it gives you these boots with Flowing Thought. Tunair, we got this item yesterday that had 5 Flowing Thought off of it for Tunair for Necromancers, which is insane. And of course, Kha'Zix revamp, Kha'Zix Velious revamp, where he got a lot more Flowing Thought items too. So those are some stuff to keep an eye out for. And then in terms of raid rolls, mostly Necromancers, what they've been doing in this expansion is just their normal DPS. They've been sacrificing people prior to Luklin to get Essence Emeralds, because these are needed for the King in Shadows of Luklin. And of course you got the Twitch line. They've been helping out in some of these really long fights where clerics really need mana. So 400 mana for 125 to someone else. 400 of your own to 125. And there's really not a whole lot more to Necromancers, unfortunately. Not a whole lot to be said. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.